Hello and selamat datang and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be making Chee Cheong Fun or rice rolls out of a very fresh recipe. I know a lot of people substitute dried rice paper to make Chee Cheong Fun. I make it fresh and you can see the dough here, so it's super good and the results are here. Yeah, but before we get into that, let's start with making it. So let's start. I've got roughly 175 grams of rice flour in here, together with something like 110 grams of potato starch. Yeah, I messed up the ratios a bit, but I've got the proper numbers on the recipe, so check that and use that. Half a teaspoon of salt inside there, and I'm going to microwave roughly 100 ml of water, 2 minutes to make it super boiling hot, 2.5 minutes. We're trying to make a slurry. This is interesting, so let's see. So while that's microwaving, we're going to take 30 grams of the flour out, and yeah, so that the hot water will mix in with this for the slurry. So about 30 grams, assuming I don't mess up the ratio again. Yeah, that's perfect on the dot. Okay, so we're going to wait for the hot water and then just put it into mix. So the water is super boiling, so we're just going to add the flour to the slurry. As you can see, it's boiling up. I better stir it a bit. Don't want the mixture to cook too much, so I'm going to add the rest of the things in, hopefully before it boils too much. Let's see, I'll be back. So as you can see, I've got the slurry mixed up, so I'm just going to let it sit, give it about 5 minutes to thicken, and then we'll combine it with the rest of the flour and the water. Still not well mixed, so but yeah, we're going to use the hand blender to blend it up and see if it helps. So coming back to this, so it's not quite been 5 minutes, but the slurry is thick enough to the point where we'll just let it sit on top of the original flour mixture before I start adding water to the mixture. Yeah, as you know, this is all going to be a bit of a lumpy mess, but that's why I've got the hand blender. So I'm just going to do this just to show you, mixing in the slurry. Then yeah, come back to this in a short while, and then we'll blend this whole thing up. Okay. So now I'm going to mix roughly about 450 ml of water. And we're just going to blend everything. Okay, maybe I should blend it first, otherwise it looks like a big mess. So let's just blend it and run it down now. And then hope it reduces a bit. Because right now we're kind of, yeah, it could take a bit more water, that's fine. But yeah, because it's going to bubble up a bit. So I'm just going to, yeah, got a bit water reduced now. That's great. So I'm just going to add the last bit of water. And that's fine, and then I'm just going to blend this now, so I'll come back to it when it's fully blended. And basically we're going to let it rest for as long as possible, about 1 hour I hope, similar to the dough for the popiah one. But yeah, so I'm just going to blend the whole thing until it's fine and smooth. I still need to put 1 tablespoon of oil, so I'm also going to do this. After that, you're not going to see it, but slightly around 1 tablespoon of oil I'll add after this. So let's come back to it after I let it rest and I blend it, obviously. Okay, so I'll come back to this. So while I have the batter resting, I just wanted to show you I'm making a curry dish to go with this, and I'm using one of my very old packets of fish curry it's called, but I mean, I'm just using whatever I have. So I'm just going to be cutting this out. And yeah, I know I'm generally a big fan of making things myself, just like asam laksa. I normally make it myself, But since I still have a lot of curry paste left from my time from bringing back from Malaysia a long time ago actually, so I'm just going to finish using it up. Then in the later episodes, I will then start making my fresh curries. Yeah. So when you know that I start making fresh spices for curry, that's when I'm more or less finished my whole Malaysian stock of spices. So what do you guys bring back? I presume a lot of such things as well, because it's a common thing that I'm hearing mostly, to bring back curry paste and curry stocks and all. But honestly speaking, for me, in my experience after making it fresh myself, and you can, because honestly you don't need that much ingredients and you can get all the ingredients here. Okay, don't talk about stuff like daun kasum. With daun kasum, maybe what I meant is ginger torch bunga kantan. Yes, you can't get it in Europe generally, but I do know people who grow them. But on the other hand, you can get almost everything. Yeah, so there's no real reason stopping you from making it on your own. But yeah, so I'm just going to go cook this up. So yeah, while we wait for the batter to get ready, I'm just cooking up my curry for this. So coming back to this later. So just to recap, I've got my curry done more or less. I can show that to you. It looks great. Yeah, and yeah, it's bubbling a bit, so I'll just reduce the fire a bit. That's good. My batter is ready. You can see I poured it out. It's generally looking quite good. It's quite smooth. No real concerns. I think we're good. So I'm going to go start. We've got this the crepe maker, as you remember. It's been sitting there, so I've got this. Oh, sticky. Okay, must be from the last one. But yeah, so I'm just going to get started. It's heating up now, and we're just going to do the usual and pray that it works. So let's go. Good sign. Ooh. And some lumps, which I'm going to fix. I mean, some holes. Not bad for first one. So let's see. I'm going to stir out the batter again. And again, I'm not really looking for wrap. Yes, I know the recipe I'm following is mentioning for wraps, but I'm actually looking for more Chee Cheong Fun. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but yeah, this is a recipe for wrap, but I'm making it for Chee Cheong Fun, so I don't really need it to be all one piece, if you understand what I'm trying to say. But let's see what happens. So in the end, I would like to be able to roll it out. So let's see if I can flip this. Ta-da! Wow, that looks good. Yeah, I mean, that worked reasonably well. So I'm just going to quickly do like a roll to make it like a Chee Cheong Fun kind of thing. Yeah, the oil is doing its job of holding it together, so that's good. Ooh, I got a little cut wound from a little issue with a knife just now, I think. So I'm going to go for the next one. And let's see. I hope it's not too hot. Yep. Good. Doing well. So let's see what will happen. I'm just going to patch some holes. But yeah, if you are more looking for a classic rice wrapper, I think my water ratio is a bit too high. The water ratio is probably a bit too high, so I would suggest to reduce water. I'm going for a thinner one because I want to make Chee Cheong Fun, like I said, to go with the curry. So look at that. I think it looks fine. Sorry, ignore my cut. But yeah, texture feels great. Some crispy bits on the side, which could enhance the texture. Generally looking very good. So let's see. And look at that. I'm quite impressed. I mean, if I can at least be able, of course the proof is in the pudding, so we will see how the eating goes later on, but I'm already quite impressed, honestly speaking. So it's turning out already quite well. So I gave it a bit longer. Pro tip, I don't know why I was rushing it, but if you let it sit in the dough longer, that will also help it gel better against holes. So I don't know why I was rushing it just now. Maybe I'm too excited talking about it. So yeah, I'm gonna go make a whole bunch up and you'll see the results in a short while. So be back. I should mention though, for you not to make the same mistake I did. So if you see, I bunched them together to try and cut it and it lumped together. So even though with the oil, if I put them together, it will lump up. So let's do a little taste test and see how we ended up. Chee Cheong Fun. Basically that's it. So curry could be thicker, but it's perfect. Chee Cheong Fun, freshly made, no complaints there, and that's all I guess. So thank you very much for watching. If you don't mind me, I've got a whole bunch of Chee Cheong Fun that I made myself. You can see it's super easy to make. I didn't play with any of the dried stuff, so it's super great. So yeah, I'm super happy with this. Let me know if you tried it and tell me how it goes. Yeah, until next time, please like, subscribe and comment if you like my videos. So I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, jumpa lagi and selamat makan.